time. Now, as I said, man, there was numerous great things to be positive about. As I said, the 4-4-2 worked. For me, the goals were impressive, the way we performed, but it's off the ball. Off the ball is what makes the difference with Arsenal. We, still elements, as I said, game management. We're allowing cheap goals. We seem to be very naive in that we knew at some point Aston Villa were going to have to go up the gears, especially after half time. And it looked like we was a bit shell shocked with that. But other than that, man to a man, it was near enough perfect. The individuals took care of the collective took care of the individuals. Everyone held themselves accountable for the team, so they shined as a collective. And in a good way, there's different man of the matches like Tavares, Cudfield hard done by. Smith Rowe and Lacazette it is for me. Aubameyang led the levels. Partey and Lokonga locked it down. Tomiyasu had a good game. Ramsdale moving like Pirlo with his distribution. Ben White charging out from the back and moving mad. Gabriel had a solid game. Man to a man, everybody was good really, excluding the goal we conceded. So yeah, it all worked. There was dynamism, there was intent. For me, the main thing, there was intensity to how we're playing. It looked like there's a reason for us breaking. And there's been times this season it hasn't been there. And again, like I said at the start, you're sitting here and asking yourself the same question, where is this? Because as much as I'm sitting here happy and praising it, I shouldn't have to praise this. We don't praise Liverpool and City for pressing, for their intensity. It's minimums. It's what they've come with. You don't praise Cristiano Ronaldo for being consistent. It's the minimum for the level he wants to achieve. So this is the sort of thing. I still think we need to start respecting the arts of defending. We need to calm down a bit. We either play in pedestrian mode or we're at 100 miles an hour a game. But other than that, near enough perfect. Like I said, the midfield, the pressing, how, like somebody said, the relationships that were forming on the pitch, actually indirectly, Tomiyasu being narrow, Tavares overcompensating for that on the left-hand side, the centre halves, Ramsdale bellowing instructions and his distribution, the way Smith Rowe was linking up with people, Smith Rowe and Tavares down that left-hand side. Tavares, he was involved in every goal that's been scored in both ends on that pitch. Lacazette, Lacazette deserves man of the match because, again, for me, his marking of Douglas Costa helped us a lot. It's no coincidence that when he came off, they started to do a bit more. So, yeah, I'm not going to lie, not to make a downer on it. I think out of everyone, I think Saka was the one probably a bit behind everyone. Needs to definitely have, should have scored a brace yesterday. Definitely should have walked away from yesterday with a goal. He's still the little chilly, still had a good game, but, he's going to live or die by assist. And there's been a lot of talk about Smith Rowe. Saka, you got to get up and, you're an England international now. You're an Arsenal number 7. You've got ability, but there's no romance around it now, if I'm completely honest. It was nice to see our team look balanced. Now, on another day, sometimes Lacazette and Aubameyang together, it's not going to work. A 4-4-2 isn't going to work. Tavares isn't going to work. We have to not that, it does become a bit distasteful that whenever we speak about Arsenal now, we sit here and we say the opposition didn't turn up. Let's be honest, that didn't look like the Aston Villa that's had our number in the last 3 games. That looked like the Aston Villa, which statistically prior to that game have lost their last 2 games, which we can't account for. But I'm still waiting for us to show a performance against an informed side where we didn't beat a Palace or a Brighton and their form that surrounds them now, but we didn't lose. So fair play, you live to fight another day. And like I said, the main thing was intensity, really, really and truly. VAR helped us out with a pen. It was nice to see us get an early goal as well. Really, I would say, I don't know how to show it to you lot, but I would say it looks like, obviously we worked on something on the training ground. The 4-4-2 worked, but I was really impressed with us from set pieces. Not the deliverer, but like sometimes it looks like we're surrounding Martinez. And there was one where Tomiyasu's off the pitch and then he's coming in. And you look at the build up to Partey actually scoring and where Lacazette's position. That was quite interesting for me to see. Obviously, we probably work on this every week and try to do this every week. And it's only when you win that you can notice it, people. But as I said, we started fast. There was aggression. There was intensity. We won our individual and collective battles. We countered quickly. Set pieces, we tried a thing. Very good press, very good passing. For Aston Villa, they couldn't get out when pressed. Couldn't cope with our left-hand side. There was a link. There was a disconnect between their midfield and their strikers. They might have scored a goal, but we pocketed Watkins and Ings. What did Watkins do apart from that early moment where he's getting handbags with Gabriel? That's all he did, really and truly. And I'm happy to see that. Buendia didn't do much really and truly. You know the headlines if Buendia did a thing. Matty Cash, I heard this guy is this good fullback. He's tired. We stressed out their fullbacks for what it's worth as well. You know, again, I keep saying Crystal Palace, Aston Villa's system, you could tell them fullbacks can't do it. The fullbacks were letting them down. The centre halves seeing a lot of the ball and they're scared. There's no out ball due to our press. We did well. Everything was working for us, really, really and truly. You know, as I said, the only problem I have is our goal people. Again, I was messing around with it from a tactical point of view, but pre-game, you know, you probably would have seen this something like this, and this is what actually happened in the game. There was a mad disconnect. You know, Louise is out of play. We're going with a 4-4-2, but we're actually Lacazette is standing on Louise because this is the man who's. You look at his stats. He helps Villa build. Villa can't build. We've got them in their own half. You know, we're looking like a 4-4-2. And then we're just stepping up. As I said, Lacazette is there. The front, the midfielders are pressing. Saka's higher up the field. Smith Rowe is narrow when needs to be, but is also narrow up the field. Because they're not asking anything, Tavares don't need a license to go forward. Gabriel provides some sort of whatnot. And we're just getting higher up the field. And Louise is there. McGinn at times is far too deep. When Dia can't get on the ball, we've won our battles, obviously. You know, when we're stepping up a bit, just to make this a bit easier for you lot, to make it make sense. You know, Tomiyasu is making himself very narrow so that we're able to overcompensate. And Lokonga did very well to screen that half gap. This is what gives you confidence. And both of them centre mids were at times stepping in. They had no outball, people. That's why how many times did you see it go out of play or Mings would go long and we'd actually win the first or second ball? There was no midfield from them, you know, so their strikers can't get in the game. They were working on scraps. You saw them try and get into these channels. It weren't working. So the 4-4-2 it was working. It was working a lot. Like I said, Tavares and Smith Rowe couldn't be stopped down that left-hand side. And, you know, the first goal comes with Tavares earning that corner and Partey heading it. The second goal, a ball comes in from Tavares' side. And then I can't do it to scale. But if you remember, the ball comes in. Mr. Bukayo Saka's like over here. Can't remember the other phase, but it's come into here. And then Lacazette is fouled by Target. But initially, it's come from over here, people. And if I remember correctly, is this our goal? Again, not to scale. If you remember, Smith Rowe intercepts a pass, goes to Lokonga. At some point, it ends up with Tavares. Smith Rowe does the trademark run that he always does, not to scale, people. Again, you know, it comes into a, I mean, he's clipped it round the bend, and then in real time, he's gone inside, and then it's taken a mad deflection. But, you know, all in all, it's worked. So Tavares had a good game in that regards. And like I said, have I got it here? The only problem I have is, like I said, Lacazette came off and Douglas Luiz had more joy. Now, for me, Douglas Luiz's goal, it was coming from Villa. They, on the balance of things in the second half, they deserved it, but it was poor from us. Uh, Less so about me, and more so Odegaard. I think it's too easy. And then the whole team. And to be fair with you, I'm being a bit harsh because I'm only trying to keep a back line just because it looks easier to look at. But there's midfielders there as well. If I'm honest with you, I'm sure I see either Lokonga or Partey. One of them is there. You know, it's just sixes and sevens. It's not an individual blaming thing. But long story short, Douglas Luiz is not being pressed. He gets it to Leon Bailey, and Tavares, like I said, it's come from his side. Bailey's come inside. You know, it's a mixture of bad habits because people are ball watching, people are not watching runners. Nobody's also closing him down. They got the key freedom of the city on the semicircle. Credit to Ramsey. He's bought a lottery ticket and he's put it past Ramsdale. But this is the sort of, we need to start respecting ourselves and respecting the art of defending and coming away with clean sheets now, because we need to learn how to really turn it on for 90 minutes. We were largely in control, but we need to do a bit better than that. And when you look at where is it? Can I scroll down? Is it here? Again, first half. Again, we had a lot of shots. First half, we had 14 shots, 5 on target. They had none and none. Then obviously, when you're talking about ending the game, they did hit back a bit. They had 10 shots, 4 on target. We had 9 shots on target. We had 22 shots in general. So I'm always happy to see us shoot. If you don't shoot, you don't score. As stupid as it sounds, it doesn't always look like Arsenal want to score goals, if I'm honest with you. And as I said, I was very impressed with what we're doing from set pieces. So all in all, everything worked. Hopefully it can work against Leicester, wherever we do there. And we beat Leicester away from home, last season. So I'm sure they're going to want to hit back. Make sure we're hitting the like button if we haven't already, folks.